Caesar has arrived in Britain and now looks to extend Rome's might beyond its borders and conquer new provinces and add to his prestige. What's up, guys, and welcome back. We're here with Thrones of Britannia, not Rome 2, as we are checking out a new mod for Thrones of Britannia. It is called Caesar in Britannia. It is set in 55 BC in the first sort of invasion by Caesar into Britain. Not a lot of people know about this, I feel like. Everyone knows about Caesar in Gaul, but he did in fact invade Britain not once, but twice. Yeah, I believe 55 BC is the date of the first invasion. I think the other one was in 53 BC, is a couple of years later. Both were failed, as Britain wasn't conquered till 43 AD by Emperor Claudius, and even then it wasn't fully pacified really until sort of like, looking more like 60 AD under Nero. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how this battle goes down. It is a sort of a reinforcement, sort of like a relief battle. So the Romans are marching towards the relief of this fort. This is the objective they have to get to. It's a really cool sort of like setup as an idea. The dev did say you could start with having a defender here and then having some relief armies arrive as well, which is also a cool idea. We might have to do that as well. The idea is basically for the Romans to get through this very narrow forest, which you can see is full of Britons already making their appearance here in the tree line. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this one goes down. And yeah, it looks like there's going to be a lot of ambushes going around this river. It's going to be a very quick sort of like ambush. It seems already the arrows coming in as his Equite Alley here already gets focused down. A medium cab unit here getting focused down. We also have some light sword infantry here, some Spanish units. This is the if I remember correctly, this is the Jamina that we are seeing in action. I think it is not the Hispania. So I think we have different legions as factions as well, which is really cool. So it's not just Rome, it is like different factions. And already, as you can see, the light infantry here getting absolutely squashed by some cavalry here from the Demete faction, which is a faction in the north of Britain, if I remember correctly, the northern tribe. We also do have, I believe, the Ordovices, which are back here, which is a Welsh tribe, and I think we also have, I can't remember the other one that we have as well, but it's another Briton tribe. I'm sure it'll make an appearance at some point, but already, as you can see here, Spearband manages to surround this cavalry here, this Spanish cavalry getting surrounded, and it looks like it's going to get killed off pretty easily here. Getting isolated as it tries to get a bridgehead across the river here. I guess it could be like the River Thames, this could be, you could imagine. Yeah, a river crossing for the Romans. It's going to be a tough ask. We have the cohort going in here. It's a sentry, so it's 80-man unit, which is, well, not quite how many were in a sentry. It's more like 100. Well, how you get the word sentry. But you can get sentries, you can have cohorts. So it's a really cool way to break down. So you could have like a cohort's worth of men fighting against some barbarians, or you could have, yeah, a legion as well. I don't think any of the cohorts have actually come across yet. Oh, they have, the Lamavi cohorts, a 260-man unit. They're much more on par with how sizable units are. You can see the legionaries here. Hold the line! Titus Pullo, rejoin the formation. I've forgotten exactly what they say. It's like, Titus Pullo, get back in line, or something like that. He does not, and that's how Rome starts. Maybe it's Titus Pullo is here in this battle. You never know. I don't know if those guys ever made it to Britain. Probably not, because they were part of the 13th. I don't think the 13th is one of the legions that went across. Though, speaking of legions, here come the cohorts, the big 240-man units now of Roman legionaries. Certainly in that sort of early Republic, late Republican, sorry, early Imperial look. Very, very cool. And then over, if I can find it, I think it's over here. This is it here. No, it's not, but I think it's in amongst us. Yeah, we have the Eagle cohort here. And there is the Legio 7th Claudia, is what it is, not the Jamina. Or maybe it is Jamina. I think it must be Jamina. Maybe they're also just called Claudia Jamina. I don't know. Can't remember the name of our damn faction that we're playing. But yeah, you can see here we've got the Salissa Auxilia infantry holding this line here. So we've got lots of auxiliaries that also come your legions and support. As you can see, the Britons are holding on well. A lot of armor difference between the two. Oh, these guys have some wolf pelts on. This one might be a berserker unit. They're Bloodsworn light infantry. Oh my gosh, it's a big unit as well. It's a 300-man unit. I mean, that was one of the things that they have over the Romans is numbers, is the Britons. They have 10,000, nearly 11,000 against 8,600 originally. The Romans drop in pretty quickly, actually, concerningly, down to 7,600. The Britons at 9,900, so just under 10,000 at the moment. Oh, look at that Centurion down there. Awesome. But yeah, if you wanted to check out this mod, if you're like, wow, I want to play some Romans in Thrones of Britannia, you can check out the link is down below in the description. It's gonna get a campaign. That is the end goal. They are working on a campaign. They have a Discord as well. I'll leave a link for that if you want to see more about their development as well. But yeah, I'm really excited to play the campaign. I think this mod is really good. Thrones, to start with, underrated as a total war. We have a general in here. That's how you see a general. They've got a little grey marker above them. This is a mighty horse unit here. Really needs taken out. That needs focusing down, really. They need to kill that off as much as possible. This Lamavi cohort here, medium spear infantry, really tough to actually try and kill off as a cavalry unit. Not a lot of heavy units. They're usually referred to as elite swords, which I guess just means heavy. But yeah, a lot of medium troops. Even like the auxiliaries are just like mediums, they're not even heavy infantry. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing as like Caesar, having like your Gallic bases and then invading Britain. And apparently there are only going to be 5 legions, because that was how many legions were involved in the invasion of Britain at different points, I guess. And yeah, and I have a feeling that that's good, and that they're the only ones you'll have in the campaign. So that is going to be really, really cool. And I feel like that's going to be a really hard challenge. It really is. The general's under attack here. We have Gaius Volusinus, the 240-man cav unit. A huge cav unit. Well, let's go to slow-mo for a minute, just so we can admire this unit. I mean, I love the models. The models are great. He's armored. He's got like an armored headdress going on. I kind of like that. It was really, really cool. Who do we have here? We have just a Legatus, another general coming forward. You can see the standard there being raised high. In the name of Rome, I claim this land for Rome. That is what Caesar will be doing. He's planting his eagle on the far bank of the Thames, claiming it for himself. And there you go. It looks like the cohorts here managed to hold at bay. Pretty banged up, but still. Well, actually, this one's fresh. The sentries, I think, I've seen some better days. I like that the cohorts are I love this as well. They're forming square, and yet we've got the sentries hiding and resting up inside and using their javelins. Really cool tactic there by the Romans, using yeah, a defensive defensive position here to then basically just protect their own troops. And it looks like they're using all the sentries here to make. Yeah, look at that. There's 4 sentries in there, and they're all in another square. That's so cool. It's a square inside a square. Such a cool formation that that the players have made that. I didn't even realize we did that.
I can see trouble ahead.
And here we go. Looks like the Bloodsworn going to go in once again. And here comes the Cav charging in here onto the flank of the 7th cohort. I thought it was just like the 7th cohort of the Legion, but no, they meant 7th cohort as in like this, the 7th Legion is just their cohort. It'd be quite cool, and would be very in-depth if you could have like each cohort, so like the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. That would be really cool. But yeah, it's the 7th cohort going in there. I think someone has brought like a vexillation of the 5th, which is also available. We'll see if we can find it. It will be dotted around this somewhere. The Romans, though, really trying to push up this hill here. Chosen Hunters going in. So there's some archers running out of ammo. The Romans should easily cut through these guys. I mean, you can see they're literally wearing no armor on their top half. So the Gladius is going to cut through that easy, accessible flesh there. The Britons didn't really learn it very easily. I mean, they're still cutting down a lot of these Romans. See a few heads flying there for the Romans. Do what you can, boys. Oh my gosh, brutal. Really is. But yeah, the Lamavi cohort, they're shaken, casualty sustained. They've lost about 100 troops. Units will break pretty easily as well, I've learned in this mod. They don't exactly have to have lasted too long. We've got cavalry now fighting over here. Looks like the infantry and cavalry are going in over here. Looks like we've got Equites Ale going in. We're going to see Gaius going in as well by the looks of it. Cavalry there managed to, looks like a rout of sword, that's key. And there we go, in goes the General Gaius. They brought some Cornuti call for the allied swords, which I think is from Cornwall.
Flee before our fight.
There you go, Gaius is in the action. We're seeing spears join the fight, the classic Total War thing. Get spears to support your cavalry. Looks like the veteran riders are about to flank in here, though. Maybe surround Gaius. He could be in a whole lot of trouble here. It looks like he's doing fine at the moment, but the charge in the back might just start to drop his troops a little bit more. This is the push. This is where the Romans are pushing hard. You see the legions pushing up this hill here. Call for the allied swords holding the line. There's still an army like kind of scattered over here that's just arriving. I think this is, I can't remember which faction it is, but we have a general here. Modron Druids, it's a Druid faction. But yeah, I can't remember the name of this one. The Decang, there you go, the Deseng Angli, that's what they're called. I don't know where they're from in Britain, I can't remember, but again, I think it's another northern tribe. It seems a lot of the northern tribes have been really touched on because they're the more hostile ones to Rome. Quite a lot of the southern tribes are actually quite open to trading and working with Rome because they saw the economic benefits because they were the closest to Gaul, which the Romans controlled.
They are leaving the field.
And there you go, good charge from the cav there. Flank it in, that's a Decangali cavalry unit actually flanking in there. It's doing a lot of damage to that cohort. It's starting to be just destroyed. I think it's, yeah, the sentry, so it's actually a tiny little unit, it's a smaller version. We've got Spanish troops in there as well, Ostrom cohorts. So yeah, this is another thing you could bring was Spanish infantry. So I was like, oh screw it, we'll bring it. It might be pretty useful. I wish I'd brought more legionaries because they are so much better. Because these guys I don't think have the same amount of armor, they're mediums to start with. One of the benefits is though is that the Jamina has archers and the Hispania Legion, which is also available, but it isn't being shown off in this battle. I have to cover some more battles, which we've done, but we have got the Hispania in it. And the Hispania just have Javis. They don't have, they don't actually have even slingers, like Balearic slingers. The Jamina for some reason has those. Kind of interesting since they are a Spanish legion, like they don't even have the Balearic slingers. But look at this, the legion is in play, the cohort, the eagle cohort, sorry. It should be the front lines. I don't know if it's just, I just saw the eagle and it has now just dropped out of sight. I think it might have died just there and then. I think the eagle has been dropped here because it should be around by the Centurion, and the Centurion's right here in the front lines. Rip in peace to him, the eagle is gone! I feel like the eagle should be like right in the middle of the formation. I don't know if that's possible, but just to maybe stop him dying in the first like bit of combat, because it inevitably happens. Cavalry one on this side here for the Romans, and they are now flanking in. I've not really been paying attention to what's actually going on, just enjoying the battle as a whole. The cohort auxiliaries going in here, trying to hold on. It looks like the Demete actually captured the point. I don't think it actually does anything. It doesn't even give it to you like a faction-wide or like a battlefield-wide bonus. Look at this archer fire coming in. These poor cohort here, forming test judo, trying to block as many shots as they can. You see the auxiliaries here out of square formation. I think because they can't form anymore, maybe don't have a large enough unit. I think they still do. Still well over 150 of them. For some reason they just came out of it. Hold the line against these Bloodsworn. We've got archers I think now going into melee. This is not a good sign for the Romans. They are running out of troops, and you can see they're down to 4,100 against 6,900. But I wouldn't say all that 6,000 is yet committed. There's a lot of troops still way back that have not been used. And the Romans are starting to roll this right flank. If they can start to master out stuff, they've got a chance, you know, of winning this. We are seeing generals and like the Legatus and Gaius, so having to be used in the center here to try and hold some stuff at bay. Rome's left is starting to crumble. As you can see here, the Austrum cohorts, they're starting to be damaged. They are being popped with rallies though. And Thrones, especially this mod as well, you need to be using your abilities so much. Look at the amount of archers. I think that most of these are archers going in. So many sworn hunters with no shirts going in. And as a Roman, this would be just a dream, really, in reality. I mean, they'd be still dangerous to fight, but yeah. Oh my gosh, they are swarming that square. This is such a huge target. If they had archers left with ammo, the Romans, they could kill so many of these guys. I feel like there's so many, like, just unprotected troops down there. And you can see they're breaking already. Like, Bloodsworn, like, waver quite early on. 120 of them left out of 300. Looks like over here as well, a little bit of a counteroffensive. Chosen Hunters going in. They're slaying some of this cavalry as well. They seem to have pushed back on this left a little bit. Got the Druids of Mona in here. So Mona is Anglesey, and that was a Druid stronghold. It's really cool that they brought that. And they've got a double-handed sword unit. I just realized it's like looks really cool. I mean, every model has had so much work done to it. You would not think you're in a Thrones of Britannia, like with Vikings and Saxons. It looks great. They really do. The Romans look amazing. And each legion as well, I believe, has different sort of like shield markings. The Romans, yeah, holding this line at the moment. Not exactly pushing though. It certainly seems like the barbarian factions are not weak. As you can see here, Rome is getting caved in on this flank here. Here we go, the cohort's 5th Dalmatarium. This is the unit I was thinking of. So it's like a vexillation of the 5th Legion. They look very barbarian though. They've got like sort of very like checkered shields, not very Romanized shields. So I think it's really an auxiliary unit maybe, because it's a medium sword infantry. So they're going in, but they're part of the cohort's, the 5th cohort. Or maybe, oh well, Dalmatarium is Illyria, and they're going to break almost immediately. Look at that, wow! I think because they're just army losses, they're breaking. So yeah, maybe the cohort's 5th Dalmatarium, they're actually an auxiliary unit, not a vexillation of the Roman Legion, actually, now I think about it. Cohort, the Eagle cohort's broken through though, no surprise there. Don't know where it's going. It's going up the hill here. It needs to come back down the hill and actually get into the left flank. That's where it needs to be. Over here, stabilizing. Over here, Rome's sort of winning, but not really. The Legates is actually now pinned down in the woods over here. That is not a good sign. He's trying to support his legions. There is also environment, like sort of like buffs and debuffs. So I think the Romans are fine in the open ground like this, but fighting in like the woods over here, the Romans don't like it because they're heavy infantry. I don't think the Britons have any sort of debuffs of terrain, but it's a really cool asset and makes you really think where you've got to pick your fights, which I think is what the developers looking at doing. It's sort of like when you come to a campaign. You'd be like, do I want to fight in like the mountains or like in a densely wooded area? Probably not as Rome. Maybe as the Briton tribes. So yeah, really cool idea. I'm really liking some of the concepts that he's adding with this mod. It's still got a long way to go. There's still a lot of factions to add. I imagine he's going to add most of the Briton tribes, at least maybe not playable in multiplayer, but at least playable, available in the campaign. Some of them are pretty small, not really relevant. I imagine you've got some of the biggies still add, like the Brigantes and the Iceni have still got to be added. So yeah, there's a few biggies still to add. The Eagle cohort making it stand, and this unit can form square as well. Most of the Roman units can, but you can only form square. It only becomes available to you, I think. Or at least we seem to think once you start to get partially surrounded. So right now, the Eagle cohort in a face-off fight here can't form square. It needs to at least wait for another flank to be threaded, and then it can actually enable it square, which again is a very cool mechanic if that is the case. Like that we were right in our presumption.
They flee before our
Some
might.
Spanish troops going in here again. These guys have javies still to use. You need to use every javy as well as Rome. Like, you just need to kill as many barbarians as possible. But yeah, they're already getting engaged, it looks like, by the cavalry here. I don't know if they're going to necessarily be able to javy. They might be able to javy whilst in melee, which really shouldn't. Actually, no, they're going to get chance either. They're going to get routed immediately. There you go, 110, and they all routed for good. At this point, yeah, Rome is pretty much defeated. There is nothing really left. There is a tiny little fleck of balance power left, and that has been represented by the first cohort here, the Eagle cohort. I'd also like to see the Scottish tribes added, because I'd love to do like a ambush of the 9th. I know the 9th necessarily weren't lost to Scotland, but like that is how the myth goes, that the 9th is lost there. What a fun sort of scenario that would be to do. I mean, the 9th also got pretty much decimated by the Iceni in the Boudicca's rebellion.
General has fallen.
There you go, Allied General's fallen. I think most of them are starting to drop, to be honest. He's died over there somewhere. I think the Eagle cohort's the only one that's left. I think Gaius must have died at some point as well. It's all looking like it might be over. I think some of these units are bugged out, because I think some of them are just stood around doing nothing. I'm not sure how accurate it is, the replay. It's pretty accurate from what I remember. Some of these units are just now stood around just doing nothing, instead of just fighting the Eagle cohort here. So this is the only problem I have with Thrones, is that there are sometimes replays that just seem to bug out, and like modern ones especially. So whether that can be sorted out, that would be great. But yeah, I feel like they surrounded the Eagle cohort a long time before this, and he held them for a lot longer. But yeah, that's one of my only worries with Thrones, especially with like also Dawn of Day saying they want to maybe convert their game across, or their mod across the Thrones at some point, maybe for more stability, or like and maybe for just better performance than Attila. Only problem is that Attila's replays work a lot better than Thrones, it seems. But for us poor content creators, might get a bit screwed there. Druidic Elders going in. These guys are going to just try and charge as the flank. I feel like at this point I did tell the Eagle cohort to form square. Whether it is going to, I don't know. It's still got 397 men left. They're just going in. I definitely told it to form square at least by this point. And I think it also killed a couple of these units that it was fighting here. It's an absolute machine of a unit. It's also got chevrons. It's earned those chevrons. It's not because you can't chevron a unit up in this mod, in Siege of Britain. In Britannia, I should say. Siege in Britannia, you can't chevron up. It's way too expensive to even try to do it. It's literally like millions it costs. And yeah, there you go. It's the final stand here of the Eagle cohort, getting javied. The barbarians surround them, ready to sacrifice these Romans to their foreign gods. Take their heads, gut them, take their manhoods. It's not a fate a Roman soldier wants, down to 350. They've only lost like 130 guys. They've still got plenty of men to burn through. But the units aren't really even fighting, like the full units are really fighting, just standing there. And there you go, a close defeat. The Legion must have routed. But I think the end of the replay did just bug out, unfortunately, which, like I said, I think that's a bit of an issue with Thrones replays. I think it's a bit hit and miss sometimes with some of them. But there you go, the Legio 7th Jamina with the bull there. Very, very cool. Then the replay. We'll see whether we get the end results. I don't know necessarily if we will. No, then yeah, you can see the replay bugged out. We didn't get the kills. Unfortunately, they're just there, 0-0-0. But well done to Omens and Ike. They did as good a job as possible. Unfortunately, Omens, I think, brought way too many of these sentries when he had the money to bring the cohorts, and they're only 80-man units. I don't think he realized. But yeah, it's a shame that we don't have the kills so we can have a look at them. But also well done to Flannel, K1, and Stein, who actually did win the game, playing as the Demete, the Order of Assis, and the Deck Angli. But yeah, hopefully some of these replays start to work. I don't know whether the dev can sort it out, the replay side of it, or whether that's just going to be a problem with like Thrones of Britannia sort of submods. But yeah, there you go, guys. That is today's battle. If you want to see more of Caesar and Britannia, do let me know in the comments. I'm more than happy to do some more of it. It's a really fun submod. We did this one in a stream, and the stream was really good. But yeah, I enjoyed checking out this mod. It's something very different, we'll say, to the typical sort of throne stuff you have, and it looks like it's getting a lot of development right now, and looks like it's going to be maybe, I'd say, sort of like the first really standalone mod for Thrones of Britannia. But until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.